Hi guys, it's Amelie here and welcome back to my channel. This is my very first bullet journal plan with me and I'm very excited to show you my setup. I made a lot of design mistakes this month and I thought I would share how to remedy my mistakes when you guys set up your own bullet journals. So here I'm setting up my April calendar. For my month boxes, I wanted to make sure that if there was ever a 6-week month, the size of the boxes would still work, so I'm doing 7x7 boxes, but since April is just a 5-week month, I'm only drawing 5 rows as opposed to 6, which just leaves more room at the top for like my month header. I typically don't follow themes for my bullet journal since I'm definitely more of a functional bullet journaler, but for this month an idea popped into my head and I felt that if I didn't do it, my mind would literally explode. And because I had more time on my hands from self-isolation, I had the time for a more artistic spread, so I thought, why not? So this month's theme is, drumroll please, Mono by RM. I thought this would be perfect since April has the saying April showers, and I remembered the artwork from the Forever Rain lyric video and thought it would be the perfect minimal design that I was going for. Since I'm not a very artistic person and I absolutely did not want to waste my time with like a pencil sketch, I made sure all of the designs for this spread would be easy enough to do freehand. I had some free time during March and drew the design I was going for to see if it was easy enough on a little post-it note that is in the shape of a shirt. I'm adding a little puddle doodle at the bottom left-hand corner since it was in my original sketch, but it didn't really fit at the top there. And I'm coloring it in such a way that there are some white gaps in the doodle, and those are the reflection and the shine from the puddle. So each month I like having a main color. For April it's this dark blue mild liner. I'm highlighting the day of the week at the top of the calendar in this color, as well as writing the month and also coloring the umbrella with this color. Here I'm setting up my habit tracker for the month. I'm actually following Ryder Carroll's original habit tracker. For his habit tracker, each week you put dots for the days you want to complete each habit. If you end up completing the habit, you mark it off with an X, and then the following week you can plan your habits based on which days you completed the habit the previous week. I like this since I don't plan to do each of my habits every single day, and this gives me the freedom to add in the days that I complete a habit when I didn't originally plan on it. So I'm numbering the days and writing the corresponding day of the week next to it in a column. Then at the top in a row, I'm writing a letter corresponding to each of my habits. For my key, I'm only including the habits that are new from last month so I can have more space at the top for my monthly tasks, which I'm putting right above my habit tracker. I'm then using the finer end of the mild liner to draw a line signifying the end of the week. For me, my weeks start on a Monday, so I'm putting the line after every Sunday. So now I'm just numbering the month and doodling in rain around the umbrella doodle. The rain is just straight lines that are different lengths. My left page ended up looking a lot more sloppy than the rain on my right page, which I'm not very proud of. It got cut off on camera, but you'll see in the final flip through what I mean. So just be more mindful when you're drawing your rain. So here I'm setting up my first weekly spread. I like doing all of my weekly spreads all at once at the beginning of the month since I don't really know how busy I'll be during the month and if I'll have time to set it up. So I like doing it all in one shot. So I've bullet journaled in the past, but then I took a long break and I really only got back into it last month, so I'll be trying out a bunch of different weekly layouts to see which one I like the best. For some reason, I didn't think about trying these different styles last month and went with a basic horizontal layout for each week when I don't even like horizontal layouts that much. It doesn't really make sense, but the past is in the past. And then when I was drawing my boxes, I made a mistake counting, but I covered it up with some washi tape, so we are good. For this spread, I wrote the day of the week in cursive and basically had the line from the word continue to form the border for each box. It's a little hard to explain, but it's easier to see it, which you can see. I'm making a little study tracker in the corner there, which is just a habit tracker for each of my classes. So I have the days of the week in a column, and in a row at the top, I wrote the period number for each of my classes, and I added SAT at the end. I always like including a little quote or a lyric to inspire me for the week, and this week's quote is, "The morning will come again. No darkness, no season is eternal." This lyric is from Spring Day by BTS. The first week of April is actually going to be finished in my March weekly, so this is the week of April 6th. For this next weekly, I'm going to be trying a Dutch door spread, which is basically where you cut a page in half. Since this month is rain themed, I made the cut wavy and outlined the edge of the cut with a blue outliner. The box for each day will have the same dimensions as the boxes from the previous spread. So using that, I'm just drawing these wavy lines with my blue outliner at the top of each box, and this is where the day of the week will go. Since there is no 8th day of the week, the last box is where I'm going to be putting my study tracker. To the right, I'm drawing in a box to keep this week's events and appointments. It's really not necessary since each box for each day is so big, but it's a good reference. I'm using the page I cut to trace the edge since I wanted to outline a wavy edge for the other pages in the spread as well. To fill up the space at the left, I'm adding another doodle from Mono. It's pretty iconic. This was a sudden decision I made, so I kind of just went in with my pen and prayed that it would go right. Coloring with my pen must have been my biggest regret, since it took so long and wasted so much ink. It didn't bleed through the page, but it did wrinkle up the page and goes through. But I'm not that upset about it since I think the doodle came out pretty well. I also added a little umbrella doodle to the bottom right corner. For the quote, here I realized that it would have been so much smarter to make all the quotes for the weeklies a lyric from Mono, since it is a Mono-themed spread month. So here I'm going to be using the line, "Gonna breathe a little slower, cause my life and my rap, they're usually too fast," from Forever Rain. My rap might not be too fast, but I do think life is, so I thought the lyric was very calming and encouraging. Okay, this spread has a lot of regrets. I'm doing a vertical layout, and each column for this layout is the same height and width as one column in the calendar spread. I'm drawing a little water droplet at the top to keep with the rain theme. I start penciling in the width of a column so I don't accidentally draw a water droplet too big that it gets into the next column. I added the study tracker to the right, and then after that I drew a pen outline around each of the water droplets. It's like not exact, but like on purpose, if you know what I mean. And here is where it all goes wrong. I took my blue pen and I wrote over each droplet the dates and the day of the week. If you recreate this spread, write the number and the abbreviated version of the day of the week inside each droplet. I don't really know what I was thinking. It looks so messy now, and I think it would look 10 times better if the number and the day of the week was inside the water droplet. Now I'm just outlining the border of each day of the week in the blue outliner as a drop shadow. My quote for this weekly spread is, "It all passes someday for sure, certainly," from the track Every Day Goes. And again, I just thought this was a very encouraging lyric. Now, watch me try to fix this spread, but end up making it worse by adding and drawing even more water droplets on the side. As for watching my failure, my last spread got cut off from my camera, so I'll just briefly explain it. It was a simple horizontal layout spread with 4 days on one page and 3 on the next. The days are separated by a simple highlighter line, and the lyric I put at the bottom right of the page was, "Moonchild, you shine. When moonrise, it's your time." From Moonchild, of course. It's just so iconic that I had to use it. You'll end up seeing this spread in my final flip through. Here is my final flip through of my April Bullet Journal 2020 setup. This is my month. This is my first week. This is my second week. This is my third week. And this is the spread you guys didn't get to see me make. It was at this moment that I realized I forgot to add my study tracker, so we're just going to try and squeeze it into Sunday's box. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time.